Hey everybody, welcome to Moving to Sarasota. Hope your guys' week is off to a great start. This week we're going to be going over investment properties in Sarasota, rentals, whether it be on the annual side or the more seasonal side, even short-term vacation rentals. So yeah, we're going to talk about all that and more coming up in this episode. Alright everybody, so again, welcome to Moving to Sarasota. My name's Drew Beyer. I am a local Sarasota, Florida realtor. I've been putting out these videos, hope you guys like them. If you're new here, please feel free to like and subscribe. Would really appreciate that. Keep growing the channel, keep delivering content to you guys. Have a lot of fun making these videos every week and talking with you guys in the Facebook group, which brings me to my next point. We got a Facebook group going with, I believe, almost 800 members now, which is awesome. We have both locals and people from out of state, out of country, looking to take the plunge, move to Sarasota. So that is awesome. The link to that is going to be down in the description below this video. So definitely click on that if you haven't already joined, and join us on Facebook, ask any questions, and if you do have any real estate related questions, or you're looking for a house or anything like that, you want some help, please feel free to reach out to me. Contact info is in the description below, on the screen, etc. So with that being said, let's jump right into it here. We're talking investment properties in Sarasota, Florida. So yeah, a lot of people view investment properties kind of a bit skewed. They say, oh, I can buy this place for X amount of dollars and then I can rent it out, and every month I'm gonna make $500 or $1,000. Like, it's gonna make so much money off this property, and that's possible in some pretty rare circumstances, but really when you kind of peel back the different layers and the different things you have to deal with, especially being someone that might be an absentee owner where you're out of the area or out of the state or even out of the country, it can be a lot harder to profit, almost impossible to actually profit on an investment property directly. But there are indirect ways of kind of profiting, which I like to call kind of equity income, or like adding value, appreciation value to your assets as a whole. Such as you might only be, breaking even on the actual rent of the house compared to the mortgage and the, property management company you're working with and all the repairs, whatever the case may be. It's more so about the fact that you're paying down that mortgage for free, and in a place like Sarasota, it really works out well because you can take 2 weeks or a month out of the year, and the house is pretty much supporting itself, and then you can afford to not have anybody in the house for that period of time, so you get more or less a free vacation. Now, to kind of paint a little bit of a picture for you as far as the dollars you might save on the vacations, if you're someone who likes to come down to Siesta Key, for a week, 2 weeks, even a month at a time, it could be a really big front-end money saver for you. Because, for example, my parents have a condo out on Siesta that is not big. It's 2-bedroom, 2-bath, right near the beach, but it's only about 1,200 square feet. So, if you're a larger family and you need a place to stay, it could be a very large number that you're shelling out per week. Just their little 2-bedroom, 2-bath is renting for almost $2,000 per week at peak times. So you're talking about a lot of money that you can save yourself, not only on the front end for those vacations and those those memories you're making they can be very expensive. Obviously they're awesome times, but you also save yourself money on the back end, because although you're not necessarily profiting off the house, you do, the house will appreciate, the property will appreciate, you are paying down that mortgage and someone else is staying in the property, and you're basically not having to do anything. So it's a very, very good option for people who like to come down and vacation here. Now, those of you that don't necessarily come down to Siesta Key often and you're looking at it as more of a retirement possibility, you know, we want to rent the house out kind of like a business, and then, you know, 5-10 years away, whatever it might be, we want to possibly move down here. So that's why in the meantime we're going to rent it out. It's kind of the same thing, you know, you're still going to get that appreciation of the property, and you know, the closer you are to the beach, the more you're going to see that appreciation, because land is scarce. There's obviously only so much land on a place like Siesta Key or any of the islands here. However, with that approach, you aren't really getting the value out of using the house yourself. You're just kind of paying down the mortgage, which is great. You know, that's still a huge value. But just keep in mind that you know, yes, you can charge a lot for a weekly rental in February or March, but you have to keep in mind that you need reserves for repairs. You are going to have to work with a property management company who's going to charge you at bare minimum, it's going to be like 18%, sometimes as high as, you know, 22%. You're going to have, but they're handling everything for you. You know, you're going to have a constant influx of people every week. If you want to truly maximize that revenue, weekly rentals near the beach, that's the way to do that, because that's going to make you the most money. And it's kind of a sliding scale. You can kind of have the, you know, top level, I want to make the most money possible, I'm going to go on Airbnb, rent it out by the night maybe, you know, maximum amount of return possibility, but also the more headaches and the more you have to pay at the property management or a, you know, an individual property manager, and it kind of scales back as you go down. And you know, a monthly rental is a lot less work than a weekly, and you can't charge quite as much, but you are still making money. And then, you know, your seasonal, maybe 6 months, is going to be less of a rate, but even less work, so the property management company isn't going to be as big of a deal. And then, you know, annuals, all the way at the bottom, you might even be able to manage that one yourself. If you come down here, you know, once a year, you can set it all up. You know, there's just a bunch of different ways to go about it. And a bunch of different things to consider. And then one thing I wanted to be super clear on is that the most important aspect of, you know, the potential search for an investment property or a second home is that you can afford it without renting it out at all. Like, you must know that you can have the budget to afford the property as if you were not going to be able to rent it out at all, because, you know, something like COVID-19 happens, and you know, for a couple months people weren't vacationing. If you put yourself in a situation where you're relying on that rental income, that's a very, very bad spot to be. And, you know, then you start to fall behind and you feel like, you know, oh, I have to rent this place out. And although the market here has pretty much fully recovered on both the rental and the sales side, you know, rentals are super scarce now as well. There's people vacationing here again. It's pretty much normal. You know, for someone who might have been in trouble there for a few months, that could be a disastrous situation. So you want to make sure that you have the reserves to, if you have to, you know, float that property for a year and be totally fine. Yeah, that's just one thing I wanted to kind of clear up. It's like, you don't want to think, oh, you know, I can just go finance this house with, you know, all-time low mortgage rates, which is great. You know, it is awesome that mortgage rates are so low and cash is so cheap, and you can come get one of these rental properties for a very, very good rate right now. But you just have to make sure that you take care of yourself, and, you know, if stuff hits the fan, you know, just make sure that you can afford to do it without renting it out, at least for, I would say, a 6 to 12 month period, and still be very comfortable. And lastly, I kind of want to talk about the different styles of, you know, renting a property out, or how you can go about it. So for, you know, something that you might want to have as yours one day, you know, you acquire a property and you say, you know what, this could be something that we use as our, you know, beach home for 6 months out of the year, you know, our winter home, whatever it might be. then you might want to start investing in the property more and, slowly but surely make the upgrades if it's not already, turnkey the way you want it to be. Just kind of chip away at stuff. Every year you look at how the reserves are doing, if you had to make any repairs. If not, you invest it back into the property, or you pay down the principal more on the mortgage. Whatever it might be, I think that it's important to distinguish between, a place you might want to live one day and a place you want to invest in, and then just, a place that you're considering as a rental to make money and to make the mortgage just go down. And maybe you're going to combine your primary residence and this residence into one day to purchase that dream home for retirement. So on that front, you aren't going to want to put in brand new quartz countertops and custom cabinets and your favorite fridge and all these appliances. You're not going to want to do all the big time touches to a property that you just want to rent out, because basically you're extracting the value in the property by the proximity it is to the attractions. So anything in Sarasota that's close to the beach or the water, you're going to make out great on, whether it's super luxurious or not that luxurious. And obviously if you can't have something that just looks awful, but you're not really getting top dollar out of something just for interior upgrades. Something like a pool, yeah, sure, that adds extreme rental value. And anything that you want to do short-term vacation with, I would say has to have a pool almost, because that's pretty much the top on everyone's wish list. So I would not buy a short-term vacation rental property here if it does not have a pool, or unless you are planning to add one, because that's an absolute huge factor. But yeah, I just wanted to clear up that if you're thinking of making it your dream home one day or your primary residence, then sure, go ahead and add all the touches that you want to over a period of time. But just remember that if it is an annual or seasonal rental, that you're just kind of trying to make some headway on the mortgage and get some equity in the house and add some value, some equity income, as I like to call it. Maybe skip the top of the line stuff and just get good durable stuff that's going to be suitable for renters and has some longevity to it, because you have people in and out every week, every month, whatever the case might be, and it wears on stuff. So yeah, to wrap up, guys, I think Sarasota is obviously a great place to have a short-term rental or an annual rental, whatever. There's so many people that want to move here. There's so many people that want to rent here, whether it's to try it out before they actually take the plunge and move here, or just people on vacation. People coming down to the #1 beach in the USA, being Siesta Key, and you will do very well with an investment property down here, renting it out. You just got to keep in mind, like I said, look at the time that you want to put into it, the money you want to put into it, whether it's going to be your potentially primary residence one day, or your dream home, or if it's just going to be something that gets you by, a place to stay for a week or two or a month down here, when you're on vacation yourself. Get a little free vacation in. That's never hurt anybody. So yeah, just keep those things in mind. And again, the biggest takeaway is that make sure that if all else fails, if something crazy happens and you have to support the house with no renters in it for a year, make sure you're comfortable enough and you have the funds to do so, because we never want to see someone go into a situation where they stretch themselves too thin and they have to rely on that rental income, because that can just put you in a really bad spot, can mess a lot of things up, and can end in a pretty bad situation. But other than that, rental income in Sarasota is one of the best places in the whole country to do so. It's tourist central. Orlando's probably the best in the country if I had to guess, but Sarasota's got a very similar market, not far behind. Just a lot of tourists, a lot of people wanting to come down on vacation. So it is truly an optimal spot for a investment property for rental. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in for this video. Again, my name is Drew Beyer. I'm a local Sarasota, Florida realtor. If you guys like the video or like any of the videos, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to. Would really appreciate it. And go ahead and click the link down below again in the Facebook, or for the Facebook group, sorry. Again, join. We've got a bunch of locals. We got a bunch of people that just moved here or are looking to move here. Really awesome group. We got a ton of activity going on. Like I said, almost 800 members. That's awesome. And other than that, if you have any real estate related questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Contact info is on the screen and in the link below. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.